In our journey through life and in our understanding of characters and narratives, how often do we pause and think about the underlying motivations that drive actions? The 6 core human needs serves as an excellent lens through which we can examine human behavior. Today, we'll use this 6 core human needs framework to dissect the multifaceted character of Walter White in the pilot episode of Breaking Bad. Before journeying through Walter White's narrative, let's set the stage by outlining the framework. The first human need on the list is certainty. It's our primal quest for comfort, security, predictability, and a stable foundation. Juxtaposing certainty is need number 2, which is uncertainty. This is our innate yearning for change, to embrace novelty, and to take on challenges. If things get too predictable and certain, then we get bored. Significance emerges next as need number 3. Significance is a deep-rooted aspiration to stand out, to feel valued, important, and unique. As children, we all needed to feel heard and important. However, if we strive for too much significance and uniqueness, we end up totally different than everyone else. This violates our very next need, which is need number 4, love and connection. From infancy, humans possess an innate need for love and connection, a sentiment that evolves and manifests differently across cultures and individual experiences. This prompts the timeless internal debate on when to assimilate with societal norms and when to champion one's distinct identity. These first 4 needs, certainty, variety, love, and significance, are essential for human survival. They are the fundamental needs of the personality. Everyone must feel that they have met them on some level, even if they have to lie to themselves to do so.
You are completely safe. Everything that I do, everything, I do it to protect this family.
The last 2 needs, growth and contribution, are essential to human fulfillment. They are the needs of the spirit, and not everyone finds a way to satisfy them. However, they are necessary for lasting fulfillment and satisfaction with one's life. Note that it is the person's beliefs, values, and external pressures which will influence how they go about meeting these needs. So, now that we're all on the same page, so to speak, let's cook! At the beginning of the story, Walt is a high school chemistry teacher with a decent amount of certainty in his life. He has a roof over his head, a stable, albeit passionless, relationship with his wife and son, and no health problems. His job offers a predictable schedule and environment. Also, the classroom is a place where Walt understands the rules, knows the material, and has control. Overall, while Walt has a decent sense of stability in his life, a lot of it is a rather disappointing and unexciting routine. Walt has an uncertain future as he's expecting another child with Skylar. This brings an added stress from the additional responsibilities and financial pressures, but it also provides him a source of hope, as it will be rewarding to care for, influence, and watch his daughter grow. However, in the present, the financial stress sucks, as it forces Walt to work the car wash job, which, besides the money, adds nothing to his life and which Walt feels is demeaning for a man of his talents. In general, it appears Walt's life is of little excitement to him, and the little variety he does experience feels negative or disappointing. Sure, in his role as a teacher, Walt is a leader and has the chance to impact young minds, which raises his significance. However, the lack of respect he receives from certain students diminishes this feeling of significance. In addition, the contrast of his past, as a contributing researcher to a Nobel Prize-winning study, to his present situation further underlines a reduced sense of significance in his current life. Then add to that he is emasculated by Hank, and then his wife barely pays attention to him as she gives him his, birthday present. All of these little slights and what Walt interprets as embarrassing or emasculating moments set the stage for his turn to the dark side.
You were the the chosen one! I loved you!
The family dinner and birthday celebration show a clear connection between Walt and his family. These moments depict a loving family despite their financial struggles. From the start, Walt and Skylar have moments of closeness, like when they discuss finances or when Skylar makes Walt his birthday breakfast, but there is a noticeable lack of passion in their relationship, and Walt tends to be the more submissive person in the relationship, which we later learn isn't what he wants.
Well, hey!
There is a stark indication of Walt's stagnation during these scenes. His potential as a brilliant chemist has been sidelined for the daily grind of high school teaching and what he would consider as a demeaning car wash job. It is clear he is not being intellectually stimulated, nor is he growing a business, a hobby, a skill set, his finances, or a passionate relationship that he can feel inspired or proud from. Everything is basically stagnated, or, in the case of his finances, wilting and dying. Truly, the only thing growing in Walt's life is his cancerous tumor. Walt's dedication to teaching shows his desire to contribute to society and his students' futures. He aims to impart knowledge, even if the reception from his students is mixed. Walt's secondary job at the car wash, although not fulfilling, highlights his commitment to contribute to his family's financial well-being. From these two sources, Walt decently fulfills his need of contribution. Overall, at this point in his life, Walt has high certainty due to the routine nature of his life, low variety, extremely low significance due to lack of respect and recognition, middling to low love and connection due to a lack of passion and submissiveness, and extremely low to no growth. But he does have a decent amount of contribution. I think Walt, at this point, submissively and silently craves the significance that he once had and that he feels he deserves. However, I will say, while the present is relatively dull and keeps him insignificant, there is quite a bit of hope in his life as he still is the main contributor in the family and the future is uncertain. He is very functional, and as far as he knows, he still has many years of life left to enjoy with his son and his new daughter on the way. So this is still hopeful and what I think keeps him going despite the lack of respect and recognition in his life. But then comes the cancer diagnosis. Now his feeling of contribution is taken away from him. He has lost that hope that kept him going, as the future has now become even more certain in the sense that he knows he will die and his wife and kids will have to fend for themselves, and he will have lived what he would say as an insignificant and underachieving, routine-filled life without much growth or use of his intellectual abilities.
Fortunately, there are solutions. For example, crystal meth has been shown to be very effective.
At this pivotal juncture, Walt is spurred into action, realizing that for far too long he's allowed other people and a safety-conscious mindset dictate his choices. Now, faced with the stark finality of his diagnosis, a nothing-left-to-lose mentality grips him. He's no longer willing to be a passive observer of his own life. He is going to rediscover the variety and uncertainty that once colored his days. So Walt joins Hank on a ride-along. But then, something amazing happens. Walt spots one amazing pair of pants. Sorry. No. What happens is that Walt spots former student Jesse Pinkman falling out of a house. And with that, an opportunity falls into Walt's mind. Prior to the cancer revelation, Walt had already glimpsed the allure of the wealth that meth production could offer, as seen during his casual conversation with Hank at his birthday party.
Well-organized.
Hank, how much money is that?
It's about $700 grand. It's a pretty good haul. It's a good day for the citizens of Albuquerque.
But that's unusual, isn't it? That kind of cash?
Well, it's not the most we ever took. It's easy money till we catch you.
Now, armed with his nothing-to-lose mindset, Walt sees a golden opportunity with Jesse. By him cooking the crystal meth and Jesse selling it, he could not only ensure his family's financial security, but also leave an undeniable, lasting contribution to their well-being. He would forever be remembered as the savior of the family, not anyone else.
Me, I made that money. Where, mine.
And to Walt, that idea would finally be enough to satisfy him. Even though Walt downplays Jesse's praise in their early interactions,
this is pure glass. You're a goddamn artist.
Actually, it's just basic chemistry, but thank you, Jesse. I'm glad it's acceptable.
You're the goddamn Iron Chef. Every jibhead from here to Timbuktu is gonna want to taste.
as the series progresses, it becomes evident that Walt craves recognition and validation. At this stage, however, his primary focus remains on injecting excitement into his life and being the significant figure in his family's financial freedom, which he knows could lead to some more love and connection, too. It is interesting to think about what Walt would do if he never saw Jesse. Without a clear avenue to distribute his product, would he have abandoned his ambitions? Or might he have sought out a Jesse 2.0, perhaps from among his current students?
Question for the philosophers.
In essence, Walt's disdain for his previous life, juxtaposed against the looming shadow of death, propels him to seek growth and embrace life's unpredictabilities. His past, marked by missed opportunities, relationships, and choices, converges to shape a man determined to assert his worth and reclaim the recognition he feels has been unjustly denied. And so that's exactly what Walt does in this pilot episode. First, he starts by blackmailing Jesse into cooking with him.
You want to cook crystal meth?
That's right.
Wow.
Either that, or I turn you in.
With the blackmailing done, Walt then beats off a bully. Note that this act of beating off the bully further highlights Walt's quest for a type of masculine significance. In fact, this theme of striving for a dominant, masculine identity recurs throughout the series.
No, it's just heavy.
That's why they hire men. It's not gonna bite you, all right? Looks like Keith Richards with a glass of warm milk.
No more, Mr. Nice Guy!
Walt constantly struggles to live up to his idealistic vision of masculine identity as he aspires to be a man who commands respect, provides for his family, and is celebrated for his rise in wealth. Rather than being belittled, he seeks acknowledgement and appreciation for his intellect, bravery, and business successes, particularly from his family. Walt's constant clashes with Skylar over this issue bruise his ego significantly. We can get into this more in another episode, but Walt essentially gets lustful for the feelings of independence, importance, power, respect, and admiration that he gets from cooking meth. Eventually, this turns him into the vengeful, manipulative, and destructive man that assures his demise. In the end, Walt's rise and fall serves as a stark warning about the dangers of tying your self-worth to others' opinions and being consumed by relentless standards that can only be met by contending with or surpassing your peers. Anyways, back to discussing where Walt starts cooking with Jesse. At this point, Walt probably feels like he's at an optimal balance of certainty and uncertainty, as he is doing something he knows how to do, and it is thrilling to be on a quest towards fulfillment and significance, as he says in the series finale.
I liked it. I was good at it. I was alive.
So, Walt is feeling much better about his significance as he feels he's on track to being the sole provider of the family long after he's dead. But I wouldn't say he's fully satisfied yet, as I'm sure he wishes he were building an empire similar to Gretchen and Elliot's Thus, his fulfillment of the growth need is still not quite where he wants it. However, his needs of love and connection, as well as contribution, are feeling better for Walt as he's becoming more assertive and he feels like he's providing more for his family, which he believes will bring him more love and respect. Then we get more into the section where Walt has to fend off the drug dealers. This situation is extremely volatile, and Walter's sense of certainty and comfort is now almost entirely absent. His immediate motivation and subsequent actions are more about self-preservation and escape, as he does still want to live. Ironically, he now has too much significance, growth, and uncertainty in his life, as he now has a gun pointed at him, and who knows how or if he's gonna get out of this situation. Well, it turns out he'll have to grow into a killer to do so. Ironically, Walt's significance is too high because Crazy 8 and Emilio believe he's too important a person to be kept alive, as Emilio believes he's working with the DEA. Also, note there is little love and connection in Walt's life at the moment, as the drug dealers and Walt aren't exactly seeing eye to eye. But by using his wit, Walt just manages to get himself and Jesse to escape imminent death. However, due to this being his first foray into the criminal underworld, Walt panics and drives recklessly, crashing into a ravine. Perhaps a more seasoned Walt would have managed this situation with a little more calmness and grace. But then again, Walt has never been one to be that level-headed. This mishap illustrates the dance between certainty and uncertainty in Walt's life. While he has control in some areas, others remain wildly out of his grasp, and Walt definitely still has room to grow in handling these types of situations. Then Walt hears sirens in the distance. The weight of his actions and circumstances hits him. His fate appears sealed. Walt's act of recording the message is a testament to his love for his family and his desire to connect with them, even if it's his last chance. It's also a statement of his desire for significance in that he wants to be remembered in the right way, rather than rely on what the police and DEA report. As the sirens grow louder, Walt steps onto the road, gun raised, ready to face the oncoming police. This initial instinct to shoot the police probably stems again from that masculine desire to be seen as a formidable, fearless, manly man who died like a badass. Analyzing his actions through the lens of the human needs chart, Walt's current predicament, where he's thinking that he's been caught red-handed with an RV full of meth and 2 dead bodies, makes him certain of a bleak future. With this grim outlook, he contemplates ending things on his own dramatic terms, especially as he feels his significance and love and connection waning, believing his family would shun him if he were incarcerated. And to add to that, while in prison, Walt wouldn't be able to grow or uphold the values he cherishes, nor would he be able to contribute to his family's well-being. So, once again, a nothing-left-to-lose mindset grips him. But Walt pauses and reconsiders. The moment Walt transitions from confronting the police to taking his own life highlights how strong his sense of morality still is. Unable to justify harming innocent officers, he prefers the legacy of a tragic, self-inflicted end over that of a ruthless cop killer. Yet, as the series unfolds, his growing desire for personal significance gradually blurs these moral lines, pushing him towards a more monstrous persona. Luckily for Walt in this instance, the gun's safety was on, sparing his life. And then, in a comedic twist, his luck continues as he finds that the sirens approaching belong to fire trucks, not police cars. Finally, after all the chaos and bloodshed, Walter finds solace in a passionate moment of intimacy with his wife, reinforcing his underlying need for connection and love. The passion he displays here isn't merely about reasserting his masculinity or reclaiming a lost connection. It also serves as a cathartic release. After navigating a tumultuous roller coaster of emotions, from the overwhelming uncertainty of his actions to the stark realization of his mortality, this moment offers Walt a welcome respite. And let's not forget, he still has the bodies of Emilio and Crazy 8 to deal with, so the uncertainty in his life is now quite high. Overall, the pilot of Breaking Bad masterfully lays the foundation for Walter White's intricate character development. By analyzing Walt's actions through the framework lens of the 6 core human needs, we gain a deeper understanding of the motivations propelling him forward. Without a doubt, this series excels in its portrayal of Walter's decisions, no matter how extreme, as being rooted in universally relatable desires and drives. Every challenge he faces and every adversary he confronts influences and tests Walt's fundamental human drives, shaping a character arc that will forever stand as one of story writing's absolute best. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below and who or what you'd like me to cover next. Also, plug time, I have a free sitcom audiobook out on the channel as well as an ebook on Amazon. Links in the description below.